Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu ala nabiyil ummi. One thing that causes a lot of agitation in life and makes one very tense mentally and causes a person to lose a lot of peace of mind is the ability or the inability to lower oneself and be humble and to apologize for one's mistakes, weaknesses, and shortcomings. Because the mind struggles with regards to how would it show on my personality if people know me for so many strengths, or at least I claim them as a person in my circles. As an ego, I would claim a few strengths. So now my brain will start juggling with the idea that, oh, if I apologize for my past if actions, then would that mean I have nothing left to as a strength? Nothing left as a strength. So generally, our brain would do this math and say, no, no, no. If you keep apologizing, if you keep admitting your mistakes, people might think that you don't have any strengths. You're just a bunch of weaknesses. So first of all, that is not true. The hadith mentions, ما زاد الله بعفو ما زاد الله عبدا بعفو إلا عزا. And the other hadith is من تواضع لله رفعه الله. Whoever humbles himself, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise him in ranks. So we need to understand that just because a person attributes weaknesses or humbleness towards himself, that does not negate the person's strengths. Because you can have both. You can have humbleness within you, extreme amounts, but you can still continue to achieve great things. They're not two opposites. A person can achieve both, and that should be our biggest struggle and our biggest achievement. That I want to do the absolute most that I can as a person in my situation, and I don't want it to touch and affect my personality or my image in the least. I want to be as humble as dirt, but I still want to achieve the most ever. So once we can make sense of both and see that happening, then a person can achieve anything, and then it doesn't touch them. They can amass wealth, popularity, whatever it is that people die for, whatever you can fill in the blanks for, whatever you think is amazing, and they can achieve that. But it wouldn't touch their personality because they have separated the two. They have told themselves that I will be humble as dirt, but I'll be high achieving. And that's why whenever you see a very well-to-do person, when they act humble, it just comes across as like a miracle, or it becomes like a very strikingly powerful image, because you're like, wait, this guy is something. This person is amazing. How are they able to be so down to earth? And that's when our brain kind of gets so shocked, but then we realize, no, that is possible. That's what we should be doing. And when a person is being humble, arrogant, for some reason that has become the norm. Somebody who's high achieving has to have extreme swagger, arrogance, attitude, bad manners, and we think that's normal for high achievers. No, that shouldn't be the case. A person can be very high achieving, but extremely humble. And I think a good example that I was going to share, and my video is kind of getting long too, unfortunately, but if you ever had the opportunity to dive into a pool or whatever body of water, as you try to go deeper and try to get things from the bottom of the water, if you are holding in a lot of air, I think that pushes you up. But if there's less air in your system, you can go down and achieve the most from the bottom of the water. That's how this life is. The more we empty ourselves of our egos and the pride, the more we're able to attain whatever is in the depth of the oceans. So that's how we should look at it, that I want to empty myself from my personality, my ego, and still work hard. So may Allah make it easy for us to be able to always find peace within our minds by making sense of the fact that I could have some strengths and I could have some weaknesses, and I can attribute the weaknesses to myself and they would not hurt my strengths. And if we can be humble and attribute our strengths to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we have reached abdiyat, the servitude. May Allah give me tawfiq and all of us tawfiq to practice whatever was said properly. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على النبي الكريم.